Hi, this is two New Mexico real estate ladies, Karen and Deborah. She's Karen, I'm Deborah. And we are here with our newest video. This is about building a house on your own property. So the first thing you need to decide is, are you going to do a stick-built home or a manufactured home? So just so you know, a stick-built home means exactly that it was built stick by stick on your property. That's what most people live in. All the houses in subdivisions, etc., are all stick-built homes. And you have a choice of a manufactured home or a modular home, which for all intents and purposes, at least for this video anyway, they are built someplace else and transported to your property.
Those are the big semi trucks that you see with a house and all the special flags, so that the
half a house.
Half a
You
house,
get a half
yeah.
a house, yes.
The single wide portion of it, at least, on the tractor trailers, and they pull them and then they drop them on the location and such.
So your first, the first thing you need to think about is, do you own the property? If you already own the property, or if you are buying a piece of property to put it on, and if in whichever situation it is, you need to make sure that whatever you want to do is possible.
Allowable. So in a lot of cities, and even in the outskirts out in the country, there can be zoning and CC&Rs. That's covenants, codes, and restrictions, okay? So city zoning, so like within the city limits of, let's say, Albuquerque or Rio Rancho in the Albuquerque metro area, within city limits, there are sections and areas where you can put a modular home or a manufactured home, and areas where you can't, okay? And in addition to that, there are sections that have been, like in all of Rio Rancho, for example, there are CC&Rs, okay, all over the city. Even if there's no HOA, there can still be CC&Rs that restrict or allow you to have a modular or a manufactured home. So those are all things to consider when purchasing. And generally speaking, if you already have the land, you need to investigate that. And if you're looking to purchase the land, you need to double check with zoning and with the city, whatever city it's in. Even if it's in the outskirts and outside the city limits, you have to make sure that you're not limited in any way, and find out that you can't after you've purchased the land.
So the next thing that you have to think about is preparing the lot. Now, if you are having a house built by a general contractor or a home builder, they're going to do all the preparation of the lot for you. And mostly if you're going to get a manufactured home or a modular home, the dealer is going to take care of that preparation for you. But
that's if it's new. Keep in mind, that's if it's a new manufactured
yes.
home or a modular home. So if you're purchasing from a mobile home dealer or a manufactured home dealer, okay, they're going to help you figure that all out. They have contractors, they know people in specific areas that they'll refer you to, and that they will set all of that up for you. The contractor usually includes all of that dirt prep and soil prep. All of these things that we're about to go over are usually included. So we're talking about options if you're having a contractor build it, if you're buying a brand new manufactured or modular home, and you're having the dealer help you put it on the lot. But if you're wanting to do it yourself, okay, these are all things that you need to consider in steps you will have to walk through in order to get your lot ready for your home, whether it's manufactured or whether it's a stick and brick. Because some people will attempt to do that on their own, and there's, if that's what you want to do, we're here to help you with some information.
Well, so if you're doing a manufactured home or a modular home, your best option, at least in my opinion, is to do a permanent foundation, because if you put a manufactured home or a modular home on a permanent foundation, then it becomes real property. Otherwise, if it's a manufactured home, it's just personal property, just like a car
on land.
Yeah. Then you have to do utility trenching and connections for sewer or septic, for water, for electricity, for natural gas, if that's available.
So it depends on where you're at and if you're out in the country and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because the reality is, if you're all the way out in the country, okay, you're going to have to bring electric in, or I hate to say these words, set up your own solar,
Ah.
which is very complicated and costly. And
Yes,
I could not even
can
begin
be.
to, it can be. I don't know any of those intricacies. Okay. Most people are bringing in their own, they're bringing in, you know, electric from the main, so to speak. Now, when it comes to water, you have a couple of options. You're either going to connect to the city at a very expensive cost, okay, and we'll go over that cost here in a minute, or you're going to drill a well, okay. A well is going to be expensive, but you're not paying anybody for water, ever, okay. You never know what you have. It's important to have somebody knowledgeable that understands a lot of these steps if you're looking at purchasing land to place a home. So definitely reach out to us if you have questions. The last part, what we were going to discuss today was...
Well, we didn't quite get to the gas
that's right, the gas.
situation. So natural gas is a wonderful thing if you can get it, but if you can't, then your choice is propane.
Yeah.
And propane companies abound, and you can rent a propane tank for like $75 a year. So that's a relatively inexpensive cost, but the cost of propane can be prohibitive. So that's something you have to think about. Like, do I have a gas stove or do I have electricity? And electric can be, I have a friend who has a propane stove, and she says that when she bakes or cooks something in the oven, that it really sucks up the propane. So
Really?
when we moved to where we are and we have propane, I decided that even though I thought it was going to be horrible, that I would have an electric stove. Well, it has turned out to not be horrible. Not like I thought it was going to be, but it's been probably 50 years. I'm dating myself, okay? It's a long time since I had an electric stove, and but it worked out really well. So that if you are where you can't get natural gas, then that's your only other option, seriously, unless you're going to go all electric. And there are people that do that.
Just to avoid dealing with the propane
Yes.
and the gas. So those are all things to consider. But if if they lose electricity, what do they lose? So
Right.
they gotta have backup and
Right.
such. Let's see. So when you're looking at putting your own home on your own land, you're looking at utilities, first zoning and CCRs, you're looking at your utility situation, the cost of your utilities, and the next step is going to be a foundation. Okay, so we're going to leave off with that because I think we're going to do a set of installment videos. So we're going to kind of start separating out the difference between, stick built and manufactured home. The videos and if there's stuff that they have in common, we'll go over that. But our next video will start on, setting up what it costs to put your home on a permanent foundation. Okay, thank you for joining us today. And if you have any questions, please let us know and subscribe.
Thank you.